All right. So I think everything's all set up appropriately. We are back. Had a reason to come back. Timothy Lim, Mark Pellegrini. They got the psychokinetic zener psycho out the gates. Kamen America 7 Kickstarter Indiegogo campaign YouTube trailer thing going on. And I don't even know what psychokinetic zener launch celebration means, but that's just how I feel seeing the success out of the gates for Tim and Mark on their campaign. So yeah, we'll go through today. I figured I would just bring up the Kickstarter campaigns, bring up the trailer, kind of go through that, and talk about how happy I am to see that 2023 is rolling along, and more books, more stories, more products are coming out, and they'll be ultimately on the Iconic Comics page, and everything's going well. So, there's always a storm around there, somewhere there'll be a storm here or there or whatever, but early 2023 has been outstanding in many respects. Now, my personal life, I got a neighbor who's talk about psychopaths or whatever, but that's a whole other story. Won't get too far into it. Long story short, my neighbor is a scumbag who abuses dogs and animals, and he's a scumbag. Anyway, my landlord the other day was doing work, and the guy's dog was freaking out and going crazy. My landlord calls a noise complaint on my neighbor, who, before I even moved in, tried to start a fight with my landlord. Anyway, my landlord calls in a noise complaint. I'm not even home. I'm getting sushi or something, or I'm like helping my wife with her stuff at work. And my neighbor thinks I called a noise complaint on him, which I didn't do. I didn't know about. I didn't ask my landlord to do it. So he's all like ticked off, and he comes to my driveway and he tries to like start a fight with me or something. And he's like, "You can suck my shabba shabba doo." And I was like, "What?" And I'm just like staring at him like, "You're a loser, dude. You're a total loser." So I'm just like, "Okay, whatever, dude." I'm just staring at him. And then because he's like an out of shape wannabe Mexican gangster guy or something, I think he realizes, because he's never actually like confronted me physically. He's like, "Oh crap, I'm out of shape and chubby and fat, and this guy, he's not rattled by me, and he's looking at me like I'm a moron, and I'm pretty sure that he exercises on a regular basis. And he kind of has a physique of an aging army guy who still tries to stay in PT shape. Maybe I don't want to fight this guy." So then he gets in his little car with his his muffler that's altered to go, and he like zooms out of there. Again, we'll get back to Kamen America. We gotta get back to Kamen America. We don't want to talk about my psycho neighbor, but in terms of comics, everything is rolling along. Let's see. Mr. Grohovac is here. Brett is here. Scribbles is here. Bianca is here. Mr. Mill is here. Rob is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, so I'm assuming everyone here is in the know of the Kamen America stuff. Now, I should have just downloaded this from YouTube and then uploaded it so it's like a smooth dealio. But let's see. This is how I feel. I don't know if this is going to work. This is how I feel when I see the campaigns going well. So yeah, when when the campaign launched this morning, within, I don't know, I want to say 5 minutes, 4 minutes, I think it was completely funded on Indiegogo. Now it's closing in on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. It was funded like probably within like 5 minutes. and it's closing in. Well, it has, when you put them together, over 1,000 backers, readers, customers, and definitely over. I want to say it's like closing in on 60,000 total. And it's only been like 3 hours or so. So yeah, so it's 208 backers on Indiegogo, 9,859, and Kickstarter 45,857, 945 backers with 56 days to go. So yeah, no, Rob says funded in like a minute or less. It had to be. So it's one of those things when you're going and you want to like put your order in, and then by the time you're already done, you're like backer number 50 or 60 or whatever the heck it is. So whatever it was fast. And I've said before, because every once in a while, like people are like, wait, you're still backing the campaigns? I've backed since the very beginning. Sometimes I see these eBay or auction things or whatever going on, and the early books are going for like, very quite impressive prices. And I'm like, I got that. I was there from the start. So that's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I've been there since the ground, brother. And so it's really cool to see all the ways that Tim and Mark have grown their Kamen America, Black Ops USA, GI, all of this sort of stuff over the years. It's really cool. And like I was saying at the start, so if Iconic Comics is like a baseball game or something like that, we start off the year, Soul Finder hardcovers are finally ready. Late last year, like December, like basically I flew to Montana right when they got in, like Christmas time. But anyway, it's released right into the new year. It's a baseball game. Okay, the leadoff hitter for 2023, clink. All right, boom. He hits one and it lands in left field, and he's got a base hit. All right, we got a base hit. We're on base in 2023. All right, Kamen America's up to bat. First swing and boom, home run. It's a home run. There's no other way you could deny that. 3 hours, something like $60,000. It will continue to go on. Captain Cummings is here. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, man. Hope you are back safe and sound from all your deployments and all of that. Kamen America, second up to bat, first inning, boom, home run. Next up, I don't know if it's going to be Arc Athena 3 or not. So we don't know how Arc Athena is going to do, but I'm pretty sure based on previous experience that there will at least, Eric's going to get a single or a double or something like that. But, who knows what he's going to get. And then Black Ops is the crossover. Antarctic Press is coming off the bat. And boom, I'm telling you from what I have seen from the summer crossover, I can't say anything, but dude, that's going to be really cool. And then later this year, the Soul Finder Volume 4 Saddle Stitch, if all goes well, we'll get that out. So hopefully Soul Finder will come off the bat again, and maybe they'll hit one right over the pitcher's head, and it's going to land in the center field for another base hit or a double, or who knows. And then Iconic as it, maybe it's its own batter in some way. It's got merch coming up. I had a talk with Iconic Comics, cool dude, the other day, and we were talking about merch stuff. I've wanted to get these t-shirts out for a long time, but I am paranoid about the feel of the shirts and the ink that is used. We have a design for the first shirt that I really, really like. This particular guy, I don't know if he wants his name out there, so I'm not going to say it, but he came up with the design, and I think it's really sharp. And I was saying, like, listen, sometimes people buy these shirts for comics or whatever, and it's really like they will only wear it either if they go to a convention or once in a while. Like if it was, I don't want to say Kamen America, just name like a comic or whatever. It was like Batman or whatever. It's like the new Batman movie comes out. They wear the Batman shirt on the day of the movie, but then they never wear it again. I want to come out with a shirt that if you were going to the gym or something along those lines, that would be your gym shirt. Like, I'm wearing this shirt every single week to the gym, at least once, maybe even twice. Probably got to wash it, but I'm wearing this shirt. I love it so much. It's so soft. It looks cool. It just makes me feel like I gotta, get the reps out there or whatever the heck. So I want to make a shirt that is like super comfortable, and that's your shirt. You want to wear it. And then I also want to make a shirt where readers will think it's cool, but also people that know nothing about Soul Finder, they'll be like, hey, what is that? That looks kind of cool. I don't know what the heck Soul Finder is, but it looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll look it up. Because sometimes shirts that people put out, they think it looks cool, and maybe it looks cool to their little circle of readers, but it doesn't look cool to anybody else, and it's not gonna. So I wanted to come up with a shirt where basically people will look at it and be like, I don't know what that is, but it looks kind of cool. I want to check that out. So Low Pro is here. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Draw and Talk is here. Tyler is here. Tyler's got a new campaign out as well. Check out Tyler on Twitter. Check out Draw and Talk on YouTube. Girl with the mega fists, hundreds of pages, all of this sort of stuff. I know he's done really, really well as well when the first week of release or whatnot. So congratulations, Tyler. Yeah, so check out his stuff. Let's see. Richard is here. I made it live once. Yeah, we're just talking about the psychokinetic zener launch celebration for Kamen America. It's going really well. So can't say enough good things against. So I don't know if I should probably like put this on mute and just sort of like play it in the background here, because the audio will be like weird, but you can just see what's going on. Oh, actually, that let's see. We don't know. Shop, shabba, doobie, wah, wah. All right, yeah, you don't want to hear me do that, but She Lava did a great job with the song as well. People that have followed for a long time. All right, so boom. Now, right before I came on, somebody messaged me who may or may not be here and was like, dude, Father Redder is back. And you probably was like, hey, Doug, you were probably not able to say anything. You were all pent up like, hey, I don't want to, you can't say anything. And I've joked around in the past that Tim is just torturing me. Everyone are like, man, Tim, yeah, you're so nice. You're giving Doug the previews. Actually, he is, but I joke that he's actually torturing me. Because he knows that I want to say something, but I can't say anything, because if I say anything, then it's like, oh, Doug, we can't trust Doug with the secrets. So we gotta, loose lips sink ships or whatever. And so I can't say anything. But yeah, there a long time ago when we were, I don't know, on the road to one of the conventions last year or whatever, this was kind of talked about. And then usually like Tim and Mark, they'll just be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And anytime it has anything to do with the Soul Finder, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I trust you guys. You got a blank check. You've been there from the start for Soul Finder. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I just trust them implicitly, explicitly, and they can basically do whatever they want with Father Redder because I know that they're not going to do anything stupid or weird. It's always going to be cool. And Tim he's very good with the poses. I don't know what that, there's probably a word in art for like someone who just knows how to pose people in like cool ways where you're just like, oh, the arrival of so-and-so, the arrival of whatever. And when this guy enters the stage and, stage right or whatever, he knows how to make his presence known. Tim is very good with that. So yeah, I'm just like super grateful that Mark and Tim would be like, hey, this would actually be a good way to weave in Father Redder. I think he would be a good creative tool in the toolbox, bring him out here and this will help, X, Y, and Z or whatnot. So yeah, super grateful to Tim and Mark. So here's the other thing. And I've talked about this on the last stream, and I got to try and stay as positive or just as neutral and as possible with this. So what people don't always get, because I have people that hate watch these streams, which is really weird because when people don't like me, it's like, if you don't like me, you don't need to watch my streams, dude. Like you could just like whatever. But these people that hate watch, what they don't get about Iconic Comics is that there are multiple things going on that can be scaled to an individual creator or an individual team, things that can be tailored to individual goals, principles that can be applied to different circumstances. That's what these guys don't get. So last stream, I was saying like people take me out of context. I will say something, and as soon as I say something, I am taken out of context. And that is exactly what happened afterwards. So I was talking about using my own capital and my own family's resources to put out the books. And of course, in no time, it is taken out of context. And then I see somebody acting as if I'm using my family's savings to pay our electricity bills or something along those lines. I'm taking money from Tiny Tim and it just recklessly, with a reckless abandon, I am sinking it into Soul Finder. And if things go wrong, then we're all going to be out on the streets and we're going to be begging for money. I'm going to be on the side of the highway selling roses. Please. I'm a veteran, but help me and my family. I wasted all of our money on Soul Finder. No, I said capital for a reason. And what's very interesting about this is these same people. These people, Eric July will say the exact same thing that I said, and they won't criticize him. He literally will just say almost not verbatim because he's putting up his own capital. He's taking on his own risks too. But these people, they won't say that Eric July is risking his family's well-being or whatever, or they won't say that they won't criticize his blueprint because he's got 508,000 subscribers. So they will totally kiss his butt when he talks about using his own capital. But when I talk about using my capital, then suddenly don't do what Doug Ernst is doing because he's using $100,000 plus of his own money to do saddle stitch and hardcovers and X, Y, and Z and all this sort of stuff. No, you can scale it to yourself. The first Soul Finder book, Demon's Match, did with Timothy Lim $33,000. I specifically said that I put the profits from the first book into the second book. And then where needed, I take calculated risk with capital, not savings, not money that is used to put food on the table or pay the electricity bill or pay the mortgage or all of that sort of stuff. If you're a responsible human being, you take care of the necessities first. And then after you have taken care of your necessities, then you put aside money for your business that can be used wisely or risked. There's wise risk that can be had. You're like, oh, I know that I have this number of readers on the first book. If I can retain X percentage of readers, then it would be a good decision. It would be a wise risk with this money because there's a high probability that this risk will pay off. And that is exactly what happened. And then you build, and then you build, and then you build. And if your name is Timothy Lim and your name is Mark Pellegrini, suddenly you have, if you're putting out good work and you're able to properly market yourself, you're putting out a campaign where in 3 hours on Kickstarter, you have $47,431 and 979 backers with 56 days to go. That's how it works. I have never said that people need to spend $100,000 of their own money. I've never said that people need to risk their kids' college tuition or something like that. No, that's not what you do. You incrementally continue to build and build and build and build. That's what you do. It's not a for sure thing that what you are doing is going to succeed, but there are ways to step by step continue to build off of what you have already done. You lay the foundation. If you lay a solid foundation, then you can start to build out. If you don't lay a solid foundation, well, yeah, then you're going to have problems. And again, the key to everything is quality art and quality storytelling. And then the product itself has to be good. If you're doing hardcover books, you don't want them to be shoddy where people open them up and pages just start falling out or something. I'm being hyperbolic here, but you get what I'm talking about. So it's very frustrating to me how there are people that all they have are dishonest takes, straw man arguments, red herrings, just outright lies about what is going on here at Iconic Comics. So again, if you are a newer creator, of course, you're going to have to start at a smaller scale. With Soulfinder Demons Match, again, that is exactly what I did. I did the best I could with the resources that I had at the time. And people like Timothy Lim were kind enough to trust me. Brett R. Smith was kind enough to trust me. But again, you have to start somewhere. If you're comparing yourself at day one to Timothy Lim and Mark Pellegrini at year, however many they've been working together, collaborating for, as far as I know, like over a decade now, yeah, then you're going to have a warped perception about what is going on with Kamen America, Black Hops, Soulfinder, all of these sort of things. Punchline, Arc Athena, of course. So if you have bizarro glasses on that are not calibrated correctly to see reality as it is, then you're going to come up with all sorts of bizarre conclusions about things. So Jim Tuner is here. Thanks for tuning in. Spore Hacker is here. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, the Spider, the guy from Black Tide. Agent Zero is here. Appreciate it. Anybody else I missed? Rob is here. Thank you. Mr. Mill. All right. So cool. Let's see. Captain Cummings. Never take risks. Yeah, he's laughing about the risks thing. So yeah, no, that is the thing, is when people don't like what you're doing, they have to find a way to minimize it. They have to find a way to warp it so it's giving people a false perception. But like I said, there's people that hate watch the streams and they look for things to take out of context. But like I said, I never said that I was recklessly using my family's savings. I said capital. I said money. Money and capital is different from savings. We have a very specific savings account for a rainy day with X number of months saved up. So in case something goes wrong, there's an emergency, somebody gets sick, we have that. And that was planned over many, 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 many years. But again, if you're dealing with dishonest people, they're going to say dishonest things. And again, so yeah, somebody somewhere will take things out of context and they'll just be like, Doug Ernst was talking about Eric July. They won't say that I had nothing bad to say about the guy. And in fact, I was just saying that, no, he's putting his money where his mouth is too. Literally millions of dollars. So like him or dislike him or whatever you think about his comic, whether you're, whatever, the guy's putting his money where his mouth is. He's putting a lot of money where his mouth is. And yeah, I've said since the start, kudos to any entrepreneur that puts their money where their mouth is. Good job, dude. Good job. Last year, there were people saying that I blocked him and all this sort of junk. I never blocked him. I had a private account for a certain amount of time. I did not block him. I've only ever said, hey, I respect entrepreneurs that use their own money to do their thing and take risks. I don't care whether it's Eric July or name whatever comic creator who is the polar opposite from me politically. If you're using your own money to do things, to put it into what you believe, then kudos to you for doing that. But all the other stuff, that's actually sometimes people ask me to review their books and whatnot. I do not review books. I don't review books. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I don't review books. I won't review scripts. I tried to do that once upon a time. But people tend to, for whatever reason, if you review something for them and you say something they don't like, they go off the deep end. If you give people advice and they don't like the advice, they go off the deep end. So I try not to do that. But again, just to reiterate, apparently, if you do the books up front yourself, if you take on all the risk, you're not allowed to talk about it because people are then like, oh, you're bragging. No, I recycle the profits from the previous book into the new book. And with Black Tide, I definitely used more of my own capital up front. Capital up front. Profits, capital, profits, capital. So if you see people, I've talked about the smatterings of people that hate watch, they start lying, you know that they're liars now. They are totally dishonest. And like I said, they got to find a way to minimize what is going on at Iconic Comics. So let's see, Spore Hacker, Jim Tuner. All right. So Agent Zero is talking about revenue and profits. The main point, you don't want to get into the weeds about all the different definitions of this, that, the other thing or whatnot. But long story short, I am not using money for groceries and for the electricity bill and the water bill and the mortgage to fund the Soul Finder books. But every time any money I get from a Soul Finder book is then recycled back into more Soul Finder again and again and again. And it continues to build. And actually, a thank you to Timothy Lim, because every single time, with the crossover last year and now with, trailers like this, there's somebody that will be like, hey, who is that guy? If they're new to Kamen America, they're going to be like, who's that guy? And then somebody else is going to be like, oh, that's Father Redder. He's from Demon's Match. That's the book that Tim did with Doug years ago, the Soul Finder book. It's a series. It's at Iconic Comics. And then people will go to Iconic Comics. They'll buy Demon's Match. So it feeds upon itself. As I said last time, somebody goes, so recently I was on One American Network and they did an interview on Soul Finder. Very, thank you to Chris Boyle. I appreciate it. So someone like Chris somewhere down here. It wasn't too long ago. He will do a video or an interview. So here's the One American News Network. He'll do a video. Somebody will buy Soul Finder for the first time, and then they will see all the other books. They'll see Arcatheno, they'll see Punchline, they'll see Black Ops, whatever. And then, they'll try that out. It constantly feeds upon itself. And it's again, it's a cliche. The rising tide lifts all boats sort of thing. So to me, it's cool where you have these different creators that are all at one place. They're putting out their best product possible. And then it's just, again, it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. And the key is that, again, quality art, quality storytelling, and consistency. If people know that I'm going to put out one book a year, they're fine with that. Or one book and a short story, they're fine with that. If they know that Tim's going to do 3 books or 2 or 3 or whatever, as life situations dictate, Tim and Mark still have their full-time jobs, they're fine with that. But they just want consistency. They want reliability. They want to know that they can trust you to do what you say you're going to do. They want to know that you're a man of your word. They want to know that you're a man of integrity. If you say you're going to do X, then you got to do X. This is not brain surgery, but apparently it is. Spore Hacker, Demons Match is the best crowdfunded comic book from the States. Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. And I appreciate that you continue to read. Low Pro. Let's see. Doug Ernst won't even put his mortgage payments into his Soul Finder projects. He obviously doesn't believe in his work. He's not even going all in. Yeah, he's not 100%. No matter what you say, somebody will be able to spin it in a negative light if they don't like you. That's essentially my point. So they like Eric July. Eric July says the exact same thing, almost word for word, that I say. Silence. Or, hey, Eric's the best guy ever. Yay! Again, cool for Eric. But then I say the exact same thing because we're literally doing the same thing on a different scale. Again, monetarily, he is much more successful than me. Good job. Yay. Keep it going. Make 6 million, make 7, 8, 9, 10 million. Yay. Take care of your family. Yay. I'm all for that. Awesome, dude. But we'll say essentially the same thing, but somebody likes him. They don't like me. Suddenly I'm doing something wrong and silence on him. Now, if it was reversed and you liked me, then I can see a situation where people would be like, yay, Doug, boo, Eric. But hopefully I am trying my best. I don't want to cultivate a reader base of people like that. I want to cultivate a reader base of people that are intellectually honest and they tell the truth. They call balls and strikes, and they try their best to be accurate with their calls. So, yeah. All right. Spore Hacker, still need to get Warcry. Well, I could definitely take care of you on that. Just shoot me an email at douglasernst@douglasernst.blog, and we can make that happen. So, anyway, again, it's like I said, it bothers me when people create a funhouse mirror version of reality to minimize what is happening at Iconic Comics, because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on that I can't talk about. And actually, I've said before, if you are the praying type and you've been praying for what we're trying to do here, keep going, because we're so close. There's some big projects there's things that people are trying to make happen, but there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things, a lot of uncertainty. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the prayers that I've received from people have been working, and I can't say things, but oh man, I wish I could just talk about certain things, but there are people in our corner behind the scenes that are trying very, very, very hard to take things to another level. And we'll see how it goes. but I just appreciate all of your support. I appreciate your prayers. Thank you for sharing on social media. It is huge, whether it's any of the books. Because when I talk with people, when I have meetings with people, when we are putting together, for lack of a better word, pitches for things to individuals, being able to point to the support, the grassroots support of these books is huge. And can't thank you enough, because what you have done in a very short amount of time has put multiple creators in a very good position. I'm sorry that I'm being vague or whatnot, but like I said, you don't want to ever talk about stuff until things are concrete and it's in writing and whatever. But like I said, there are people that nobody even knows about that are going to bat. I keep using the baseball analogy, but there are people that are going to bat for Iconic Comics, and there are people that are going to bat for Soul Finder specifically in ways that one day I hope I can talk about. But until that day, if that day happens, God willing, my job in all of this is to keep putting out the best books possible. And thank God I have people like Matt Weldon and Bill Williams. I almost said Matt Williams. Matt Weldon and Bill Williams, Timothy Lim, Mark Pellegrini, Eric Canetti, all these guys at Iconic Comics, the Iconic Comics fulfillment and distribution team, the head of Iconic Comics, and his partner as well. Now somebody's gonna be like, oh wait, is the head of Iconic Comics? So never mind. Everybody across the board is putting in 110%. Scribbles, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. You don't want to dox people, so sometimes I have to be careful about what I say. And it's like when you're extemporaneously speaking, you're like, all right, be careful. Don't use this person's name. Don't use that person's name. Don't, say their exact relationship with so-and-so or whatnot. But all right, let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here. Thank goodness. Tim Pool keeps showing up in my feed over and over and over again. And I don't want to talk about Tim Pool. I don't want to talk about YouTuber drama if possible. I don't know anything about Eliza Blue. I don't know anything about Eliza Red. I don't know anything about Eliza Yellow, Orange, Violet, Indigo, green, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. So Tim Pool, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man, I don't care. I literally don't care about it. Have you ever found it interesting how people who say they don't want to be involved in internet spats are constantly in internet spats all the time? It's like, hey, if you find yourself consistently having like burning bridges with people over and over and over and over and over again, maybe at some point in time you're the cause of the burned bridges. Or maybe you're just like lying to people or lying to yourself or something. If you keep having these weirdo drama explosions all of the time. And so yeah, I don't care about Tim Pool. I literally don't care. I'm not even saying like whatever. I don't know what's going on with all these guys, but I just know that there's always fighting and it keeps blowing up and it won't end. It's been going on for like a week and it keeps showing up in my feed and people are like demanding like you talk about Eliza Blue. I don't even know. I don't even know anything about this chick. Like, I don't care, dude. Anyway, let's see. Matt Weldon, check out the new Rigger Tortoise ability. What should we name his skill? Shuriken? So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good image to end on. I guess we should end actually. I mean, this is the upcoming crossover stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess for now we could end with Kamen America. Boom, there you go. So All right, I've basically said my piece. If there's any questions in the chat section here, I could answer those real quick. But I really just wanted to highlight what's going on with the campaign today. I'll see if Mark or Tim, what's up with their schedule. Last time I did a pre-recorded interview with Mark. If either one of those guys wants to do a pre-recorded interview, then I'm happy to do that. Let's see. I'm glad Twitter keeps kicking me off. Now I don't need it. All right. Let's see. It sounds like Japanese readers are getting introduced to iconic comics. Yeah, no, the Japanese translation of Soul Finder is completely finished. So I should try and get that up in the near future. And the Spanish version, that is still being worked on. There were edits that needed to be done before I felt comfortable with that, because my Spanish is like, I'm a caveman if I try, and it would have been absolutely horrible. So I had certain individuals, a team of translators, take a stab at it, and they did their thing. And then I went to somebody I trusted in Mexico, and I said, like, hey man, can you like give this a once over and see what you think? And he actually did a really, like, he went way through it and gave all sorts of edits basically for them. And I was like, no, locally, this is what you would say. I grew up in a Catholic church. This is what they say in the churches in Mexico. They would not say this. They would say that, blah, 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 blah. And so he did all sorts of stuff. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You know who you are. If you want me to actually say who you are in the future, I can do that. But right now I don't necessarily want to, because, you know, I don't want to draw undue attention to people that don't want the attention. But thank you for translating, or, you know, helping with the edits on the book. So, all right, I think that's about it. Let's see, we could refresh this, see where we're at on Indiegogo. All right, 10,729 backers. I'm sorry, $10,729 from 218 backers on Indiegogo, and Kickstarter is at $49,173 with 1,019 backers, 56 days to go. So congratulations again to Tim and Mark. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions to this book. I know general plot points. I've seen some art. And like I said with the crossover last year, the quality continues to stay either, I'm confident that people will say that the quality continues to stay at a very high level or exceeds previous levels. Tim and Mark continue to get better with each installment as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm biased, but I mean, hey, the results kind of speak for themselves. So Tim and Mark, great job. Eric Canetti, I know you're somewhere on deck. Looking forward to the next installment of Arc Athena 3. Thank you, everybody who has backed Soul Finder 1, 2, 3, and 3.5 Warcry. And if you haven't, if you're still on the fence, there's reviews out there. Check out the reviews for Soul Finder Infinite Ascent. Check out the reviews for Warcry. Make an educated decision, but I think it's a good investment myself, creatively. Again, biased, but yeah. Anyway, Rob, thanks for tuning in. Spore Hacker, Agent Zero, Captain Cummings, Scribbles, Low Pro, Jim Tuner, Mr. Gohovac, Mr. Mills, and Richard the Fox. I said Rob, I believe. Anybody else that I missed? I'm trying to go through really quick. Oh, Comic Boom, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Comic Boom's been very kind to Soul Finder over the years. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll try and come out with another live stream in the near future. I'll see what's up with possibly interviewing Mark or Tim or both of them, depending on their very busy schedules. And I got to see about possibly interviewing Eric Canetti as well. Aside from that, see you guys later. Thanks again for tuning in. See ya.